Stars, the Business Times has the story. Princess Kate's silence sparks fear. Cancer is unaliving her, tabloid reports. There have been disturbing new suspicions that the palace is trying to hide the full depth of Princess Kate's physical and mental collapse, according to a recent report. These fears have been motivated by the fact that she has been continually absent from the royal spotlight. It has been 6 whole months since Prince William's adored wife was last seen attending public engagements, and the press blackout on her status has caused widespread worry that she is terminally ill and may never be seen in public again.
The silence about Kate's health crisis, believed to be ovarian cancer, is deafening. We're terrified. Kate's way worse than the royals are saying. Could we wake up one morning and find she has suddenly passed?
An unnamed source told Globe magazine. Additionally, reports claimed it is possible that the Princess of Wales is battling more than just cancer at this time.
Kate's disappearance has even generated palace whispers she's been secretly hospitalized for severe emotional issues and will never be able to resume her role at William's side. All this secrecy is devastating and points to an impending disaster for the monarchy,
the insider stated, after Kensington Palace disclosed on May 21st that the chemo-ravaged princess was the
driving force
behind a major report by her Early Childhood Foundation, which called for businesses to establish more family-friendly working practices. The new warning bells for Princess Kate's health detonated. What? The report was a plea for businesses to implement more family-friendly policy. Surprisingly, the mother of 3. Now, let's back up. Is that a Tory policy? Are Tories likely to loosen the purse strings in their businesses and to support taxes going to support parental leave, daycare paid for by employers, that sort of thing? Or is this just talk? Surprisingly, the mother of 3, who is 42 years old, did not issue a personal statement, and the palace acknowledged that she will not be returning to her duties in the near future. Instantaneously, the royal family was accused of engaging in a cover-up.
What is the palace trying to hide about Kate? I don't believe anything until we see her. She was the most photographed woman in the world, and there hasn't been a single picture of her going to or from the hospital for treatment. This suggests there's much more to this story than the palace is letting on, an informant stated. Again, no name, no title, no real identity. Informant. The last public portrait of Princess Kate was taken around Christmas, when she was accompanied by her husband, Prince William, and their children. This was before she underwent a covert stomach operation in the middle of January. That's that planned abdominal surgery.
That saying it's a stomach surgery makes it sound like it's an operation on the stomach. I think this is just a bad translation of planned abdominal surgery. They said covert stomach operation. What do they know that we don't? A tearful video posted on March 22nd revealed that Princess Kate, who appeared pale and emaciated, had finally confessed the devastating diagnosis of cancer. Palace insiders had informed Globe that she was afflicted with the disease. I thought it was preventative chemotherapy. This shocking revelation occurred just a few weeks after King Charles, who is 75 years old, disclosed that he had been diagnosed with the fatal disease due to a treatment that was performed to treat a benign prostate ailment, as per today. However, despite the fact that King Charles has courageously resumed his duties, Princess Kate has not been discovered anywhere. Is cancer always fatal?
What's really going on? What is really going on? There is a horrible, ongoing silence as to the whereabouts and the well-being of our future queen,
the tipster stated. After describing the scenario to her children, George X, Charlotte IX, and Louis V, Princess Kate begged for seclusion when she delivered her shocking diagnosis. She had previously explained the situation to her children. It is highly possible that this request was made in anticipation of the severe consequences that the chemotherapy would have on her, Eugenie and Zara Tyndall's appearances. Why would chemo have an effect on her, Eugenie, and Zara Tyndall's appearances?
Kate was fit before, and the chemo's likely left her looking fitter. Her hair is her crowning glory, but where it is, it was falling out in clumps, and by now she may be totally bald.
What a terrible thing to say in print.
In addition, the chemo will likely cause an early menopause.
What?
Which for kid-loving Kate must be emotionally devastating. I don't think she ever gave up on the possibility of having one more child, even though William was dead set against it.
Was he now? A palace courtier said. It was expected of the courageous princess that she would face her health struggle with dignity and fortitude, serving as a champion for all cancer sufferers by boldly wearing the destructive effects of the sickness and treatment like a badge of honor, rather than going into hiding.
Despite everything Kate is enduring, she is a true warrior princess, and we believe she would still make public appearances if she were able. She'd want to be an example of what happens to someone undergoing debilitating chemo, and could be an inspiration for others. The fact she is hiding away, or being hidden away, is frightening,
the palace courtier added. Princess Kate was notably absent from a garden party that Prince William recently hosted. He enlisted the assistance of his cousins, including Prince Andrew's daughters, Beatrice 35 and Eugenie 34, as well as Princess Anne's children Peter Phillips 46 and Zara Tyndall 43, to assist with the responsibilities of hosting the event.
The only way Kate can stop the speculation she is becoming unalive or suffering a mental breakdown is to appear in public, even briefly,
the palace courtier stated. However, it is quite unlikely that this will occur in the near future because King Charles and Prince William have postponed all of their public appearances following the announcement made by British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak on July 4th that a general election will be held. I think they meant that the Prime Minister announced that a general election will be held on July 4th. It is common tradition for the royal family to take a step back in order to maintain their focus on the election and to avoid getting involved in the political sphere. I actually heard that quite the opposite is true, that they never do this. They always do whatever it is that they do. They are apolitical by nature. And, they go to their little, charity events and garden parties and that sort of thing. And it doesn't normally pose a problem for any kind of general election. Correct me if I'm wrong. On the other hand, Princess Kate, who has been absent from the public eye for a total of 163 days, I believe that's 166 days at this point, has decided to make no further public appearances for the balance of the year. Without an opportunity for Kate to make an appearance, speculation will only grow. As the late Queen Elizabeth always said, you have to be seen to be believed, the palace courtier warned. Business Times has reached out to Princess Kate for comments. And that's the end of the article. I suppose that means they haven't heard back. Well, I can't say that I'm surprised. That was somewhat of a faulty translation, but you get the point. Things are being signposted for us, right? These words about cancer being a precursor to unaliving, these words about someone appearing to be affected by chemotherapy. We certainly know people in our own lives and on our own shores who've suffered with cancer, like a Chadwick Boseman, and certainly people do look different or can look different. Fergie looks the same, and she's had cancer, what, 3 times? 3 different cancers? And she's looking plump and energetic and running around, going to con and doing it all. And similarly, King Charles is on the road again. Like he don't seem to be having his stride broken at all. But it affects different people in different ways. And again, if there are other attendant maladies, that can have an effect as well. I mean, again, a young woman, 42, with the access she has to good health care, that would be a plus for, bouncing back from this. But if there is a devastating emotional aspect, like having had to put up with someone being not nice to you for over a decade, that can have a deleterious effect on your health. Stress, a loss of control over your public image in various ways, right? The strongest will in the world will stumble when confronted with factors that they cannot control, like health, like reputation, like, contentious family members, right? We don't know if this is just, happening in the context of a dissolution of marriage. If it's happening in the context of, why won't you bail my parents out of bankruptcy? I gave you 3 children. We don't know, but we certainly send well wishes. And, I still think that Human Rights Watch or someone from the outside of the British monarchy needs to go and have a check-in on Kate, because I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't think it adds up. I think the timetable is hugely suspicious. And, we just need someone that we think is credible and on the up and up to tell us that everything is okay. If not, Kate herself. What? Her family is silent. There's like dozens of journalists and people that host morning shows in the UK, and they ain't saying nothing. So these are some pretty strong words from the people at the Business Times. Do they know something, or is this hearsay? I invite you to be the judge, Star.